Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
Welcome to Wrath and Story. I'm your co-captain, former explorer, Jay Jones, joined as always by my also co-captain and former explorer, Andrew Dickinger.
That's me.
It is, and of course, our Servo Skull companion, Daniel Fernandez.
That is me. I'm a skull.
Yeah.
You're also a co-captain.
Oh, man,
I mean,
yes, you
I'm
are.
de facto.
Or
I
junior
don't think
captain?
I'm co-captain.
Oh, come on, Daniel. You could captain. You know, once took over like a star. I feel like you've got the makings of leadership in you.
I don't know if it was took over a star as much as he became one.
I mean,
I don't
you
know how
know.
it works.
Do you
Okay.
take over as leader, Andrew, or do you become the leader, right?
I think legally, Captain Hardin said you two were going to take over. He did not acknowledge me whatsoever. So I think you guys are in charge, and I am looked over once again.
Well, I mean, you could be our very, prestigious advisor. You know, like those people who just like hunch over the captain's shoulder, like, Captain, you've got to murder them all. You could do that.
Wait,
with
I got
your little
it. I got
tentacles.
He's our captain by proxy. I don't know what that means.
I don't
but
know
it
what that
sounds
means
fancy.
either. I was making the sound because I didn't want to admit that I
That
didn't
does
know.
sound better than slouching over advisor.
No. You're a prestigious advisor. Now, you are constantly slouching. Bad for your little skull back, if you have one.
Don't have a skull back.
He's
to be
definitely
clear.
just a skull.
But look at all those tentacles. One of those has got to be a spine, right? Like one of them, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, maybe if you count the fire extinguisher as a spine.
Ooh, I mean, it's the cornerstone of your build right now, Daniel. I don't think we can safely remove it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's
I think
permanently charged.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
locked in
double
there
barrel,
forever.
Permanently charged.
I am definitely more than a typical servo skull. I have quite a bit of intelligence in me, and I'm probably illegal, but should just don't tell anybody.
Yes,
no.
you are, Daniel. To both things.
Yes.
Let me
Okay.
lift up my little tentacle to my skull teeth.
Oh,
to give me a
adorable.
shush motion.
Unsettling because you can't smile or frown. Just a silent, cold skull face. Love it.
Never any actual emotions on my face, which is why I'm so demonstrative when I'm talking.
Ooh. But, I mean, to be fair, I feel like, you know how you tilt your little skull head sometimes backwards and forwards? I feel like we're getting it. We're getting the emotions.
Plus, you got those little arms, and you're very expressive with your hands.
Yeah.
I am trying to understand how to use human body language more. Atros programmed me to do all sorts of crazy stuff. Maybe I don't even know everything I'm supposed to do, but that's probably something we could deal with another time.
Yeah, that doesn't sound important. We don't need to, like, do any kind of, like, diagnostics. I feel like the surprises will come when we need them most. Speaking
I
of...
feel like we have a lot of like surprises that are just waiting to pounce on us.
No, but all good surprises, like presents, like somebody hid some around this bridge, which we're on, which I don't even think we've stated. We're standing here at the old top of the bridge of the old Flexible Demeanor, and I'm feeling good. We got the whole crew here. Well, I mean, not all of them, but like the ones we named.
Yeah, the whole crew cannot fit up here. We've got quite a few people up here, but there are a lot of people on board. But we're sort of in our huddle right here in the middle of the bridge.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really captain-like to be hunched over and quietly? I mean, we're quiet to be huddling up here and working on our strategies. Speaking of, Daniel, you want to give us a rundown of what's going on? Because I didn't pay attention.
Okay. I really wish you would. But so after we followed the map to the pearl. We've been looking for this pearl for a long time. We've been putting together all these pieces of the map ever since a bunch of crazy psychic space witches told us to go to this planet to find a pearl. That led to a map. That led to other maps. That led to lots of nonsense. Captain died. Well, got injured. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine.
And we're captains.
He's gonna be fine.
But hopefully it's all gonna be worth it because we've just come into real space. Right here, though I don't see any pearl. Also, I don't think this is where the map was pointing. This is sort of on the edge of the map.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, first and most importantly, and I immediately break the huddle and sit in the captain's chair.
What?
Yes.
Come on. We said there was going to be a proper race. You can't do that.
Designed for me.
I call shotgun.
Clearly.
You didn't call it. You didn't call shotgun. I called shotgun. You got to get out of the seat. Get out of it. Get out of the seat.
There's no shotgun. No.
Yeah.
What?
The chair is the chair.
Does someone have a shotgun? What?
The helmsman is clearly piloting things. Fayoul has got this. And if she is the pilot, then clearly the secondary chair is the captain's chair. I call shotgun, baby. That's just the rules. Even in 40,000 years, we know this.
So. You can't call shotgun after someone's already sitting.
All right, well, you'll have to get up at some point. I think you pee, maybe? You gotta recycle that oil
right
at least.
now.
What? Oh, man, I'm gonna have to clean that chair now. That's disgusting. All right,
I followed your dang map, but I don't think we could go any further, Captain.
Whoa, Fail, why do you think we can't go any further?
Oh, do you see the warp storm out the window there?
Oh, that's what that is. There isn't just sometimes, lights in space, like those clouds, those nice pretty clouds filled with lights in space. I figured that's what that was.
It's a rolling storm of chaos and despair and destruction. It seems to be receding, actually, but it's still there and still very dangerous.
Huh.
Jay, is that doing weird things with your eyes? Because it's doing weird things. Like, it's forming shapes that weren't there anymore.
Yeah, it's really odd. If you watch it for a little while, it seems just really interesting.
I'm coming to the conclusion that we shouldn't stare at it.
What were you
The
saying?
rudderman walks up to you.
Yes, the rudderman. Rudderman,
Yes.
what is your report?
Rudderman. I'm Arianje, if you don't, but Rudderman, yes.
Yes, that is your official title. You wear it proudly.
I've examined the coordinates that you gave us, and unfortunately, the location of the Pearl is inside a massive warp storm that has been raging for... Well, it's unclear. As far as the records go back, it seems like this warp storm has always been here. However, looking at it, and he has like a pad that he's like flicking through and like trying to find some information. It looks like we have arrived as the warp storm is starting to recede.
Oh.
It's actually, it's hard to predict warp storms, of course, due to their inherently chaotic nature. But it appears that the warp storm is receding. I'm not clear how long it will recede for, but that will give us access to the Pearl after the warp storm goes back. Perhaps this is why the witches told you to come here in the first place. It's opening up for the first time in forever, I guess.
So how long do we wait before we go in?
Well, actually, by my calculations, it would probably take a week or so of waiting here, though the warp storm has reduced itself in its intensity to the point where, and he looks over to Fayoul sort of sheepishly, we could possibly navigate through this much lesser version of the warp storm and reach the Pearl. It appears that the Pearl actually is not inside this warp storm. The problem is the warp storm surrounds it.
Interesting. Now, this was the guy, Andrew, if you remember, who said we could potentially shoot through the center of a star, which is
He
exciting.
did say that, in fact.
Fayoul, what's your take? Can we get closer?
Absolutely not. What do you want, all of the crew to go mad and start eating people's faces? Absolutely not, Captain. I mean, whatever your orders are, I guess, but I think we just have to wait for this storm to pass.
Rudderman, what do you make of the eating faces? Sounds bad. Curious, what's the probability of this happening?
Navigating a warp storm is always difficult. I would say the prime advantage of traveling through a limited warp storm at this point would be that we could reach the Pearl before other rogue traders arrive. I believe we are not the only ones who have been able to put together a map. We may be the first ones here, but... Oh, speak of the devil. And there are some blips coming up on one of the consoles.
Oh, good.
Looks like some other rogue trader vessels have entered into this part of space.
Oh my god, that's right. There were other rogue traders. Feels like so long ago.
Okay. Jay.
They were our friends, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to think.
Maybe?
This one seems to be identified as Cody the Third.
Cody the Third. I remember he loved us. We were on such good terms. I feel like there was one last conversation we had. I don't remember the context behind it, but it must have been good, right? We leave good impressions. Let's open up a channel. Lightning Mike. That's what I named you, Lightning Mike. Can you open up a channel to Cody the Third of the what is it? What the dynasty?
Pope Dynasty.
Pope Dynasty. Just open it up. We're old buddy, old friend.
The screen pops up, and you see Cody the Third dressed in full Imperial naval garb. Because they're very big in the Navy, even though they're technically not members of the Navy. It's like a weird, like, cosplay, military, stolen valor thing.
They're live-action role-playing, you know? I heard that's a thing somewhere.
And he's sitting very dramatically in his chair, sort of leaning back, one hand on the chair, and glaring at you as the thing pops up.
I'm waving. Hey, Cody! How you doing, buddy? We made it. We made it here together. How are you doing?
Tell me why I shouldn't open fire on your vessel right this instant.
Whoa. It's us. It's me. It's Jay. It's Andrew. It's Daniel. We haven't been taken over by any chaos stuff. Nobody's eating anybody's faces. It's just us. It's just us, buddy. What's going on?
You made a fool of me.
What?
And now, somehow, are you the captain? Where's Hardin?
We are, there's a lot that's happened. We are technically now his sons, and both captain.
You made a fool of him as well, I see. You were supposed to give me a map. Instead, you sent me a blasphemous photograph.
Andrew, I just remembered our last conversation with Cody. It's really bad. I remember that we were going to send him something like a map, but then, instead, tactically, I sent him a, is he still on?
The selfie of us in front of the Emperor.
Hey! I thought, Lightning Mike! You didn't turn it off? Well, I think we ended last time on bad terms. It was a bit of a goof. I mean, it was a pretty good joke, pretty good photo too. I mean, you can't really get that anywhere.
We're sorry?
Yes, Andrew's very sorry, and I concur with him. Man, you know, these journeys, right? They just put you down these crazy paths, and you zig and you zag, and sometimes you send people really great photos.
Your ship appears to be damaged. Hardin appears to be gone. I have better things to do than to deal with you. If you try to cross me again, I will blow your ship out of the sky. I have bigger guns than you. And he closes the channel.
Well, I think that...
I had a feeling that was the one you sent the selfie to, the one that I explicitly told you not to send to, and you're like, it'd be great. He'd love it.
I forgot about that.
Is this one of those things that was like those surprises that was waiting to pounce on us?
They were all supposed to be positive surprises. Didn't I say that? Well, good news. He's not killing us right now. And does he have really more guns than us?
He does. He does have more guns than us.
Oh. Huh. That's bad. as bad.
He
Okay,
also
so,
has quite a lot of orbital bombardment weapons, more than we have as well. That ship is just loaded for bear. Yeah, so it's good he's not shooting at us, though. We might... No, I don't think we'd win in a straight-up fight with him. Maybe we could do something clever, though, and outsmart him. But it's probably good he's not shooting at us now. The fact he's not shooting at us probably means he's slightly afraid of us. So
Okay.
that's probably good.
Ooh.
Hot take. Cheese it towards the warp storm and get the pearl before anybody else.
Just a straight up approach, just like pedal to the metal.
just
Because,
go.
he said he's got more guns than us, but I bet this old bird is faster, right? Jersey Mike, you're the guy on the engines, right? Jersey
Are they
Mike.
all named Mike?
What?
Yes, they're all different variations of Mike, Daniel.
Oh
of
my
course.
god, I wrote them all down. Oh wow, they all do end in Mike. That's weird. Anyways, Jersey, what do you got for us? Speed, comparatively?
We have more speed than them, I think.
Jersey Mike, I love the optimism. All right. Okay, so, I mean, it's a pretty good idea. Speaking of, we said the pearl is close. Is it just like kind of floating out there, or is it like on a
It
rock?
appears to be a planet.
What? The pearl is a planet?
Did you not... the pearl has been a metaphor the whole time, I think.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure we told Captain Arden it was gonna be like a really shiny, nice pearl.
I mean, technically, a planet-sized pearl wasn't like out of the picture. It could have been a planet-sized
I
pearl.
guess we never said the scale. Wait, so this... Hold on a second. Is this planet itself just literally a gigantic pearl?
I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't seen it. But regardless, it seems to be pointing to the middle of this warp storm. Maybe it's just a pearl, but I was always... Maybe this was my mistake. I was always assuming it was like a planet. Maybe it's just a pearl we could, like, latch onto and then, I don't know, bring back to Port Wander and make a bajillion credits off of. Credits? That's what we call them. We call them thrones.
Yeah, what are credits? It sounds crazy to me. But thrones, for
Hey,
sure.
that's
Wait a second.
weird data dumps from all those online games, Daniel. I mean,
Yeah.
Wait a second. Rudderman, get over here. Oh, you're still right here. Rudderman,
Yes.
if we can run a diagnostics, I just want to know, pearl, tiny, pearl, big as a planet, or anything in between. Really, what is the scale of this thing we're looking for? You got any diagnostics coming off the ship?
Unfortunately, I can only really see where there is warp storm and where there is not warp storm. It's sort of disrupting our sensors, of course, because it is a giant roiling mass of chaos. However, I'm noticing in the middle of that chaos, there is an eye of the storm, if you will, and that corresponds to where the pearl is supposed to be on the star maps that you put together.
Okay. Still could be small, still could be the size of a planet, or somewhere in between. I mean, either way, I guess it's still a thing that should be, retrievable?
so like, is Run the Gauntlet still plan A? Because we can't outshoot him. We're
Correct.
assuming he's not going to be the only one to show up, and I don't think anyone else is our friend. So,
I think there's one important question here. Feul,
Yes?
question. Helmsmen of other rogue traders and other vessels, when they look at this, do they think in the same way you do that kind of barreling right in there is absolute insanity and maybe they take a more cautious route?
Absolutely. That's what we're going to do, I assume.
Ha ha ha! You think so? Plan A, the only plan we've got. That's the plan. Feul, pedal the freaking metal. Everybody strap in. We're going into hell.
Absolutely not, Captain.
Whoa. Come on. This is the plan. They're not going to follow us. We've got a perfect, clear-ish path to, victory. You can do this. I believe in you. Andrew believes in you.
we can't wait a week, Feul. And they may run it before us. We don't have the information. We gotta go.
I respect your leadership, Captain, but absolutely not. I don't know what this pearl is. You apparently don't even know what this pearl is. I don't even know what my accent is either. But I know that we need to protect the people of this ship. That's what's more important. Kylie, your first officer, is sort of nodding quietly with their arms folded as Feoul is saying that as well. I think if we run this gauntlet, people might die, and I don't think we need to risk lives unnecessarily. There's a lot of muttering of the crew on the bridge right now as Feoul is saying this.
Oh, come on. Lightning Mike, you got my back? Lightning Mike?
My name's Jeff.
Dude, come on. We talked about this, Lightning. Jeez. Seriously, everybody? I'm going to make a leadership check.
Okay. I think what I want you to do is I want you to give a speech, and then depending on how good that speech is, I will say how difficult the role you need to make is.
Nice. So I can't rely on dice rolls to just get me through this.
We'll roll afterwards to see how charismatic you are and how much of a leader of men you are to actually get the folks to do this. Andrew can support you in this, of course, but there's already sort of mutinous people on the crew, and a lot of people have already died. Morale is not at an all-time high. They might have followed Hardin into this. They're skeptical about following you two into a death storm.
Okay, so before he does his big speech, obviously with the ship's designed to have, because we have to travel via the warp, so the ship is designed to have Geller fields and stuff. Is there some kind of insane tech use check I can do where I can divert power from something to the Geller fields to stop chaos from coming in?
Maybe when the ship was in better repair, but honestly, right now the ship isn't destroyed, but the plasma reactors are already sort of forcing themselves to make sure that everything is powered on this ship. There isn't
everything
really
is kind of overtaxed. Yeah,
everything is already kind of overtaxed. Unfortunately, that might be something we could pull off after we get this pearl, become fabulously wealthy, and have some time to repair the ship. But
I love your optimism, Daniel.
Yes.
We're going to become fabulously wealthy. That is true.
I mean, we're already richer than we've ever been in our entire lives.
Yeah.
Now that we're
But are
members
we
of the Hardin family.
fabulously rich?
I guess it depends on how you measure those adjectives.
What's the scale we're talking about here? But I know, Andrew, I lean into you before. You can see that I'm looking around. I'm taking my time. I'm pacing as I'm looking around the room at the different faces. Andrew, I need your help. First off, I need you to get out of that chair. I'm not going to sit in it. I promise. But it's a really important part of this. I promise. But I do need your help. Because damn it, man, I've known you for a long time. And if there's one thing
Roll
you can...
deception check.
No, I'm not going to... I'm actually not going to sit in it. I'm not going to sit in it. I'm not going to sit in it. But I've known you for a while. And if there's one thing I can always count on, damn it, the skills that you have, the PowerPoint skills you've got, is next level shit. We're gonna need all the skull wipes, Andrew, because I'm looking at these faces, and they don't believe us. They don't trust in us yet. But when they see your damn PowerPoint presentation, and whatever the hell I'm gonna say next, they will change their mind, I think. You got me? Andrew, what do you think, man? I need your help.
Well, I don't know what Andrew's doing, but I could set up a Vox channel, display your message to the entire ship, or at least broadcast it so everybody could hear it.
Huh, I mean, I guess that would help.
You know what? I'm going to do you one better.
Hmm?
I'm going to access all the holographic displays, so not only do people get it through the Vox, but also anyone that's anywhere near a console is going to see the full PowerPoint presentation.
Oh my god. Multi-room PowerPoint presentation. I don't know.
You need to make an easy tech use check for that. Difficulty 3.
Okay, well, nothing special on my rat side. That's too bad. I wish it was a 6.
Oh.
But I do pass.
Okay. So your message is going to go out to everyone. Also, if you want to create a good-ass PowerPoint presentation, that's going to be a difficulty 5 tech use check.
Oh, you got this, buddy.
Oh.
No one skull wipes like you.
Just give me exactly 39 seconds and I can make the whole presentation.
Just a little loading bar across your eyes.
Yeah, just
attaching pictures. Loading folders.
I'm gonna use Wrath to reroll some dice.
Oh no.
Did it not go well?
He hit a virus halfway through the load. I had to reset him. I'd be like, damn it, I gotta turn off the Wi-Fi, turn it back on, reload.
That damn folder just won't go away. I don't get it. Jesus. All right, well, that was a reroll. Well, I rolled a 7 and I can push a 6.
Ooh!
Okay. That's very successful.
It's a very good PowerPoint.
It's a very good PowerPoint. But do we have the linguistic skills to go along with it? The
Well, we'll have to
presentational
see.
skills.
Won't we?
Well, Jay, so this isn't just any PowerPoint. This is an interactive PowerPoint. So
What?
we're going to be on camera and it'll be reacting to us doing motions. So like if you want to be like, we'll keep the chaos at bay, and you see like chaos skulls coming at the screen, if you wave, it'll make them go away.
To think, this might be the first time in history that multiple people in different places all at once are viewing a PowerPoint. No one has ever experienced anything like this, especially not recently. Multiple people in different locales, one PowerPoint. Andrew, damn it, you're breaking new ground, buddy. All right.
I'm ready to zoom along on this plan here.
Daniel, I don't know what you mean by that comment there, but
Oh, okay.
sounds
sorry.
completely off topic from what I was referring to. But
okay.
but Andrew, can we open with a skull wipe?
You betcha.
Hell yeah.
And it's not only one skull wipe, it's literally like one of those like coruscating skull wipes, like boom, 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 boom.
Oh my god. I imagine, Daniel, there's just like people around the ship like, oh, a PowerPoint. Like, is this just like entertainment? Damn it.
They're like, oh, I guess, can we stop what we're doing? Like, can we just look at that now?
Just a man standing over his child like, son, I have to tell you something about what happened to your mom. Oh, hold on 1 second, son. It's a PowerPoint. This can wait. This can wait.
We're seeing everybody we've ever seen on the ship before as they're all looking at it. Everybody we've interviewed, all the council members, Susan's in recovery in her med bay as she's looking at that. You know, we see Guybrush. That's his name.
And Manbrush.
And Manbrush.
Yeah, everybody's
and Stabums and Rub are like their teeth are right around someone's neck, and then they see the PowerPoint go up and not today, and like let the guy go.
Exactly.
I only heard that because it translated through your receivers, Daniel.
Old man Wally's sort of limping towards the display. You know, everybody's here.
So I turn, I go up to the chair, and I stand on it. I don't sit on it. And I turn to everyone. Now, this is a swivel chair, so I have to get my balance a little bit because it's moving. Okay, hold on. All right, okay.
By the Emperor.
Is this it? Is this the best we've got? Look at each of you. This is the crew that Captain Harden, our captain, entrusted as he went into a little nap time. And he's gonna come out of that nap. And he's gonna ask us, did you get me that pearl? Did you do everything you could to get it? This thing that I gave almost my life for? That I entrusted these two people that honestly, he doesn't know us that well, but he trusted us enough to make us captains. That's gotta count for something, right? You've been through a lot with this man. He's fed you. He's given you a place to sleep. He's given you a job. And some of you, we've recently given promotions to. We've given you this job. We've trusted you to sign up for the kind of mission that, well, we are, clearly into. But by proxy, Captain Harden has blessed this as well, because he entrusted us. And he made that call on his deathbed. He could have done this with anyone else, but he called us to do this. So, do you trust Captain Harden? All of you. Stand up if you trust Captain Harden. Because if you don't, you can sit down. You can stay in your chairs. It's easy. It's comfortable there. Or you can stand with us. We can snatch this son of a bitch out of the claws of these rogue traders and these other vessels, because Captain Harden doesn't want to be rich. He wants to be the richest. And damn it, I want to see that guy out of that tube, and I want to see him holding it in his hand. What do you say?
Okay, you're going to need to make a roll. That didn't win over the people who were already skeptical of Captain Harden and thought chasing after the pearl itself was a doomed crusade. Saying their boss, let me tell you, winning people over by saying your boss is going to be rich is maybe not, it's not the best thing in the world, but it was inspiring in quite a bit. I'm going to say this is going to be a difficulty 5.
Okay. I've got a 7 leadership. I can do a
And
part.
that
I can do
five
a
is
part 2
including
to
the-
this speech if I see it wavering.
Yeah, and that 5 is including the fact that you're an Eldari and already
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
little bit of
Tough. Here we go. Come on. Ooh. Oh no. I got a 4. I have wrath dice for this.
I mean, I already spent a wrath die. You might as well.
It's not a wrath die. It's a
glory.
A wrath point.
A
Sorry.
wrath point.
Yeah,
That's
wrath
right.
point.
Yeah.
I could re-roll this, or I could gamble. My gambling is this, Daniel. I put this to you. I will give a second part of this speech because I rolled just below the 5 to convince. So maybe I can recognize that this isn't landing as well. If I don't do well in this speech, it's a difficulty 6. If I do well in this speech, it's a difficulty 4.
I will give you that. I will also throw on I'm going to throw morale on the line. You're going to start to lose morale as you continue to talk to these guys if you fail. Your one speech, people are just going to sort of roll their eyes and not do what you're going to say, although you could try to force them. Also, by the way, you could force Feoul to do this. You could shoot at her. Like, this is also, if you remember, we are in Warhammer 40K. You can also maintain loyalty through violence. But if you're trying to win the hearts of the crew, there's always a chance that you could lose morale points in this.
And I do think about that. I look around the room and I see like that nobody's really standing up. Everyone's not really reacting to it. Like we had a great relationship with Captain Harden, but I'm kind of coming to the conclusion that maybe he didn't, that's true. Not everybody here was on the command council. Not everybody got to see him in all his wonderful capes and outfits all the time. Maybe they didn't know Captain Harden that well. And
I mean, you see that some of them were sort of looking back and forth. Like one of them was already even getting to stand up, the guy that you called Jersey Mike. But he saw that everybody else was sitting down and he was like, oh, okay, I'm going to stay sitting.
And I do like grip the edge of my shuriken pistol because you're right, Daniel. Like we could just shoot up the room and hit the gas and do kind of what we always do. We've kind of punched our way through a lot of bad situations. This doesn't have to be different.
If it ain't broke, although maybe that is a broke strategy, actually.
And I look back at Andrew and kind of like shrug a little bit. What do you think, man? What do you think we should do?
I think we have an opportunity here to be better. I think we've been looking up to Harden for so long because he's had so much of what we want and has treated us better than most. But at the same time, how did an insurrection happen on the ship if he was doing such a good job?
You're right. So I turn back around at the crew and I step off the chair. So now that I'm level with everyone in the room. Thank you for listening to me. We haven't been in these positions for long. We honestly haven't even been on the command council for that long. I mean, sure, it's felt like a while, but, before we came here, I don't know if any of you know this, but Andrew and I were acolytes for a crazy inquisitor who didn't have our best intentions in mind, and he sent us on some of the craziest missions, and we had to deal with scenarios where there were like orcs everywhere, and there were battle stations, and there were demons pooling out of hotels and pleasure rooms and zip lines, amazing zip lines, and And honestly, those are some of my best memories. The crazy stuff. Because that's the stuff you tell. That's the stuff you tell your friends, you tell each other. It's the exclamation point at the end of our moments in life. And sure, we could sit here, and I could continue to talk about how it'd be nice to get a high five or a handshake from Captain Harden, but I know that not everyone here gets that. And not everyone would. But I promise, if we do this, every single person here will be their own captain. Not of an actual ship, but in their own stories. Where were you when you got the pearl? Where were you when you resisted to eat each other's faces? Forget I said that last part. Where were you when you helped be the best rogue trader crew that this galaxy has ever seen? And everyone will say that it was crazy, it was ludicrous, but fuck, we did it. And I want to celebrate that moment with each of you. Not as captains, but as crew. That's how we started, and that's where we are now. What do you say?
Okay, definitely a backpedal on the previous speech, but I think a successful one. Just real quick, what PowerPoint graphics were going on while you were saying
yeah,
this?
Andrew, what were you rocking on that last? Because you had to quickly pivot.
Yeah, you have to pivot.
Yeah, this is like
slide
like-
30 through 55. Not going to work anymore. Go to the appendix.
So I wasn't actually like peering through my own eyes. I was basically like in the internal like command system, because I had like almost like a keyboard orchestra in front of me, trying to press all these hotkeys that do functions for the PowerPoint. And the first one was definitely like with you standing on the chair and like sparks and fireworks happening behind to try and like rev the troops. But then afterwards, it was more of like a heartfelt flashback. And I used a lot of the recordings, like literal video recordings from our previous missions.
A lot of like the bumbling moments of us like falling into a pit of rombies.
Well, I mean, even like the big moment at the big hook was essentially me on the ground and wounded and looking at the gate as it closed, and you were left behind to die.
Oh,
and
that was in the PowerPoint?
That's a strong moment.
I mean, if people are going to respond to, us actually putting our own lives on the line, you gotta hit them with the heavy stuff.
Okay.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And then basically the final shot was like a shot of the three of us in the center, but then it like Justice League Unlimited, like zooms out style, and it's just like everybody as part of like one group with the crew.
Oh, the entire crew in one background shot? That's a money shot right there. Daniel,
There you go.
What is my check now?
Difficulty 3.
Ooh, here we go. I checked the wrath die first because I was like, of course I'll fuck this up. But I didn't. I got a 3 exactly. That was a terrible roll, but I passed. That's on 7 dice. And it's 3 4s too. The minimal possible value you can pass.
So here's the thing. There are some grumbles in the crew. Not everyone is won over by this. Some people are like, cool, we'll go on an adventure and die. In particular, the people that had already been stranded in another timeline because of your adventures are not really big on this. But it has enough of an effect on the bridge crew, the people who are actually in charge of that, the command staff, that they're going to be behind you. I'm not going to be giving you any bonuses to your morale. I'm not going to be giving you any minuses to your morale. I mean, not me. Me in my analysis of the
Of course.
morale.
We all understood that.
Yeah.
You can't do these things, Daniel. We just know this is just full analysis. A very accurate, specific analysis.
Yes, exactly. I'm a computer. I can analyze the crew morale very well. It's still currently sitting at 75%. But I think we are good. Feoul sort of looks over at you, and she actually has a little bit of a tear in her eye and says, damn it, I'm going to be the one who does it. I'm going to be the one who takes us through the storm.
That's right, Feoul. Your name's going to be all over this thing. And that's why you're in that chair, or area. She's standing, right? It's not a wheel? I remember this. There is no wheel. It's buttons, Daniel?
Yes, there are buttons.
Okay.
There actually is a wheel as well. I mean, it's 40K. There is a wheel because it's kind of like a pirate ship, but there's more than just the wheel.
Well, that's why you're in that position, Feul. Now, everyone.
I better be getting a bonus for this.
Oh, we're all getting bonuses. Andrew, what's a bonus?
So-
What does that mean? Doesn't matter.
So I react and like I see that like Jay hasn't won over everybody, and I'm like analyzing the statistics and everything. And then as soon as Fail says I hope to get a bonus from this, I immediately go through the comm system and say, and if we get there unscathed, get the pearl and come back out, everybody gets 1 week paid vacation.
Now,
That's
Daniel.
gonna be-
Now, Daniel. I don't know where she is,
Yeah.
but I know she heard this. How is Susan? What's the look on Susan's face right now?
She's been recovering from her wounds from the issue. We're
The
calling
machine
it the
is like
issue.
beep, beep,
Did that
beep.
statement just open up more wounds?
And I'm sure her heart rate speeds up dramatically as this is being said, as
Oh,
she's sort of
what-
gritting her teeth. Yeah.
What if she was in a coma and this is what wakes her up? She's like, fuck, no! I thought it was a
I don't
nightmare,
think
but
she
it's
was in
real.
a coma, but she was asleep. I think that's what. I think she was asleep, and she,
She
wakes
hears,
up and
she
and
hears,
her heart's beating.
she hears the words paid vacation, and it just immediately pulls her out of her dreams.
Something terrible has happened.
What's the reaction across that ship? By the way, what's the PowerPoint showing when you say paid vacation? Is it the demon? Is it the planet with all the demons?
Oh, I mean it's definitely that. It's that planet. It's the hotel planet, but without the demon part, and it's got a very like
Oh,
with, like
just
a side
showing
scroller.
the hotel.
Yeah.
By the way, I still love the idea that these are all still pictures of our adventures. So it's just shots of you and I on the zip line smiling, or like at the beach.
But it conveniently cuts when like it's about to show like a piece of the Necron like structures and stuff like that. Like it's like right in the middle of the zip line. It just cuts.
It puts like a pic art person with someone waving with a beach ball over like a demon running out of a thing. Like it's just a bunch of people with beach
Oh yeah,
balls.
you're covering up all the.
The
terrible-
doors are
Yeah,
open
yeah.
with the Slanesh demons pouring out, and they're all just cutouts of people like with beach balls and towels.
Yeah, there's a shot of like Junpei sticking his head out of the Sentinel, going like, "Yeah!" And
Yeah.
like you change the background to cover up all the buildings that are on fire.
There's just cartoon whales and dolphins
Yeah.
over all the Aeldari ships.
Now, I was thinking of Susan when I made this comic because we did kind of save that planet, and therefore I expect extreme discounts. I have no evidence to back this up.
I think.
Okay,
Didn't
well,
we win
just
it in
so
a?
you know-
Didn't we win it in a rock concert?
Did we win it?
We did win it in a rock concert.
That seems like a bonus.
It
thing
was
that
kind
is
of a
on our-
bonus thing, maybe.
Yeah, that's sort of a sidetrack of our normal adventures, but yeah.
It's somewhere. Who knows where it could be?
So I will. Here's the thing: the crew is going to hold you to paid vacations now. That is going to, you're not going to make quite as much money off of this if you have to pay the crew for paid vacations.
That's a Susan thing. She'll figure it out. She'll move the money around.
I
Technically,
need to stress to you.
here's the thing. Those double people might work in our favor. If we give, Guybrush a paid vacation, he's going to have to split it with Manbrush. Because, technically, same guy.
Because they are the same person.
That's right.
Yes.
I learned a couple things. I read a couple things, for in the rare scenario I would, maybe ever go out on a, date with Susan. But, I feel like that would work in our favor, right? It's all under names, so.
Another rogue trader vessel has entered into this area of space on the edge of the warp storm.
Ooh, okay. We are running out of time. Real quick, Rudderman, which rogue trader vessel is that?
Looking at it a little bit. Oh, I believe that belongs to Fester Shinetop.
Fester Shinetop. Did I send him a photo as well?
No, you didn't. We haven't interacted with him very much. He's been busy doing his own thing, I suppose.
Well, he's probably got a slow ship, because now's the time. Feul, you got this?
Sure, darling. I have this. I don't know why I called you darling, but let's do this.
Feul, you're Your temperament is just as wavering and mysterious as your accent. So, with that said, I now turn and I sit down in the chair. Let's fucking go! And I point forward. And I wink at Andrew.
I will point out that I did,
Oh, it's
go
wet.
to the bathroom. And
Oh,
you sat
God.
in it.
Why? I thought he had like some sort of machine. He just literally peed in it.
But it's like oil.
This is disgusting.
Feoul sort of rolls her eyes as you guys are continuing your dumb antics. And she looks left, looks right at her sort of her crew. All right, let's fucking go. And then we feel the whole ship begins to shake, and we begin to enter the warp.
Daniel, you gonna be okay, buddy?
Oh, man.
Hello again, just your friendly Imperial scribe here to remind you that possession is a big no-no. Unless, of course, you're in possession of some great Patreon content. Ha ha! We have fun here. But seriously, early episodes, bonus adventures, what are you waiting for? Well, that's all I had to say, and I'm serious about the warp stuff. If you hear voices in your head, see your local Inquisitor. Goodbye.
All right, Daniel, I got you back on. We are shaking a lot.
Yeah, this is a
also-
lot
Yeah,
rougher.
sorry, I had a shutdown when we went into the warp there. This is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Also, that alarm is really loud.
Really loud. Lightning Mike, you got that alarm, buddy? Okay.
It's Jeff.
Thank you, Lightning. Okay, phew, I can finally hear myself again. Okay. How we doing? Feoul, how we doing?
I'm doing the best I can, Captain.
All right.
I'm not so great at navigating the warp stones, but I think I know what I'm doing.
Well, hold on a second. This seems so crazy. What? Don't ships have to navigate the warp? I mean, how do other vessels do this from time to time?
Oh, no.
The door to the bridge is kicked open, which is wild because it's not that kind of door, but it is kicked open with the force of some psychic energy as the lovely Lady Kalia runs onto the bridge furious. Are you really attempting to navigate a warp storm without the navigator?
Oh, that's right, Lady Kalia. I totally
Oh.
forgot. We do have a navigator. Oh, perfect timing.
Yes. Oh,
No,
yeah.
not perfect timing. Feoul, you should know this. Don't let them do this. They were so inspiring. Ah! And Lady Kalia sort of steps forward. Her three eyes start glowing. Her third eye, which is on her head and usually is covered up by like various bits of clothing, it is covered up by a very fashionable veil, but it is glowing brightly as this is going on. As she sort of steps right next to Feoul and in like the command area for steering the ship, as she begins to like her mind sort of melds and she begins to see the warp a little bit better.
Ooh, well, that worked out. I completely forgot we
perfect
had
timing.
a navigator. That could have gone real bad. But now we got the whole
Right.
team here.
I forgot, you drive, but you need to know how to get there. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Missed that step.
Yeah, we got the
That was
wheel.
probably like step B.
Just needed the headlights. You know, like the headlights on a land speeder. It's a perfect analogy for normal things that we experience here in the 40K universe.
All right, I think we're navigating this pretty well. Feoul's gonna actually have to make a roll, and this is her own roll right here. to
This
see
could
how
be
well she's
good
navigating.
because it's not Andrew or I. So, you know,
Yes.
probability states that she'll roll normal, like normal people roll. One would expect. I mean, it can't be worse, right?
So she failed, but she got a 6 on her wrath die.
I don't know how to feel.
Task failed successfully?
Well, it sounds like we fail, but something cool happens.
As you're sort of piloting through, and not you, as the ship is piloting through the warp, just occasionally like black, purple, or man, I think it's a color I can't even recognize. Tentacles are sort of like reaching out, trying to grab our ship. They're sort of repelled by the Geller field mostly and stuff like that. But then one just sort of strikes straight through the ship. A ghostly tentacle flies through the entire ship. It phases through the ship as if the ship was not there, but all the people that it passes through are driven completely mad.
What part of the ship was that? What part of the ship was that, Rudderman? Which part of his ship just got hit?
It looks like it's mostly the crew decks.
Just the crew decks.
Quarters.
Oh, well, everybody's probably at their stations, so maybe nobody's in their rooms. You know, we gave that inspiring speech. Get to your stations. Oh no!
I think that's actually what the 6 is going to be. I think there were not a lot of people there, but it is still hit.
It's the people who weren't backing our speech. Yes! All the people. It's like there's like a few guys who are still trying to like, guys, we got to get the resistance back together. I swear, we'll kill the captains. This and just going insane.
So I think what's going to happen is only the crew population is going to decrease, not the morale, because the most upset people are the ones who die.
Yes!
So that's good and bad.
So I look at like the tentacle
successfully
going back like into like the rage, like roaring walls of like warp, and I just look and just wink. Thanks.
And I say, just hold on a second. And I really quickly just like press a couple buttons and essentially seal all of the affected areas off, so we don't have to worry about that right now.
Just a bunch of crazy people running around there. Well, we'll deal with that later.
Just a bunch of crazy people. We'll deal with it later.
And like, even though like I kind of have like a little bit of like, that was kind of interesting. I'm staring at like what's in front of us, and like I slowly like start to sweat, and I look back at Andrew. Dude, this is I'm just realizing this is pretty nuts, right? Right?
What is?
This. Look out the windows. This is insane. Like that thing.
I haven't been looking out for a long time.
Yeah, that's probably safer. But Jay, as you are looking out, you see a little green dot in the distance that you seem to be heading towards. It's getting bigger and bigger as we navigate towards it.
Team, Rudderman, come over here.
And he's staring out the window, completely fascinated by all the things that he's seeing, with like a little bit of a grin on his face.
Rudderman!
Fascinating.
Rudderman! And I run up to him by the window. Hey, buddy, Rudderman.
Orion
yes, J. Yeah.
Yes, Captain. No, I am the Rudderman. Yes.
Oh, that's great. You've really kind of taken to it. I love it, man. By the way, what is that? And I point to the green dot that I see out in the distance that's getting slowly larger.
I think that's the pearl.
That's the pearl? Are we close enough for our diagnostics? How big are we talking here?
We'll need to get through the storm first. It'll be just a little bit longer. And he sort of looks back at Feaul and Lady Kalia. And Feaul sort of looks at him and just says, "Shut the fuck up! Bloody idiot."
Well, we've got our heading. Lady Kalia, Feaul, it's all on you two. We are big believers in what you got. So don't kill us. And I just kind of crawl back, just losing my balance a little bit, back to like the chair and try to sit in it, and then remember that he peed in it, and then I sit up from it again, all wet. Like, God damn it.
And then I immediately sit down in the chair.
I guess I don't know why I'm upset.
A proximity alarm is starting to go off, a very loud warning.
Oh no, what is that? What is that sound? Who turned the alarm back on? Lightning Mike?
It's a different alarm.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck is that? And coming at us from below the ship is... Well, this doesn't make sense. There's another ship here in the warp that seems to be on a collision course with us.
What?
I should fire all weapons, right?
Fire all weapons, right? Right? Fire them all down there at the ship Do we got angles? Do we got angles on the ship?
I don't. Yeah, we do, but I don't know if we'll be able to destroy it in time before we can stop it. I'll try to turn her about, but this is going to be very difficult.
Well, what do we think? What do we think?
Well,
We need to decide now.
It's on the underside of the ship. Well, that's where all the planetary bombardment stuff is. And so I immediately press the button and start firing all of the planetary bombardment cannons directly at this.
Right before Andrew pushes the button, I grab his hands and I look him in the eye and I say, Andrew, nuke the site from orbit.
It's the only way to be sure. Do I have to do some kind of roll to make sure it all hits?
Make a ranged combat check. No, you can make a tech use check. This is ranged combat in such a different way.
Yeah.
I don't think this counts as ballistic skill.
Yeah, I'm sort of like I said, I wasn't really like looking out, but it's more because I'm like in the internal systems of the ship trying to guide everyone as this is happening, try to be like a point of stability. So I guess I'm trying to guide the gun crews to be like, aim at that big thing, blow it away.
Just putting a lot of arrows on icon screens. This hit with guns.
It's the kaleidoscope skull symbol from the Star Wipes, and it's showing direct targeting systems at that.
You
and
really
then a nice little
repurposed the
animated
skull wipe.
Nuke GIF, nice little animated nuke GIF going off.
The people
All
are
right,
nervous, but they're like, "This is fun."
You begin to blast whatever it is. The alarms are going crazy. Now there's new alarms for the nuclear launch being ready to go. You know, you're also sort of hearing the sounds of the warp in your ears a little much. It's very loud in here. Andrew, I need you to make a roll to attack that thing. It's going to be a difficulty 5 tech use.
Okay. So, I did succeed. I even can push a 6. Ha, I got you. I rolled a 6 on my wrath die.
What?
Andrew succeeded? Okay, you were fucking with us. Okay.
I was like, you were like, I fail, but I can push a 6. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
This is not the time to joke about this stuff.
Don't worry, guys. I found the largest nuke ever.
That's why I wanted this to be. There was one giant, like, planet cracker weapon that was stored away in a chamber that Hardin had gotten off of, like, a bet a long time ago, and I was like, what the hell is that? And it had, like, 3 nuke symbols, and I had no idea what that meant.
Oh, you know what it is?
And then I was like, oh my god.
There's only one symbol that could be on the outside of this tube, and the symbol he has is an Iron Warrior symbol.
It's like, oh baby. Well, I would love to save this for later, but now is the time.
Because I'm not wrong here. Iron Warriors are the Siege Masters, right?
They are Siege Masters, yes.
The Imperial Fists are the CGs? The ones who are sieged?
Yeah. So I fire the weapon, and then I start reading the stats on the thing, and I realize it's literally meant to destroy an entire hive city all in one. So I was like, and I immediately look at Fail. Fail, hit the gas. As fast as we gotta go. We gotta go faster. We are not going fast enough.
I'm giving it all she's got, Captain.
Fail, I don't know why, but I love to hear you say it.
She made a roll. She actually succeeded at her roll, and you made it easier. Whatever this ship was, we haven't had enough time to really scan it, as we just blast it into oblivion and avoid it as we make our last ways out of the warp.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I need to get me more of those.
Oh, the alarm stopped. The alarm stopped.
That is... What the hell was that? What the hell was that? I don't know what that was.
Well, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone's sort of breathing heavily. Everyone's sort of like calm. The ship has not taken too much damage, except for the madness on the crew deck, which has probably reduced the crew by like 5% maybe, but you know, that's not great.
Oh.
Oh, man.
We did it. We made it through.
And Lady Kalia sort of collapses on the ground slightly, and then stands up and tries to be as dignified as possible as she does so.
Are you okay?
Don't ever pull a stunt like that again, sweetie, or I will cook your brain in your skull, your tiny little elf skull.
Yep, that's fair.
And you, Robot Man,
Huh?
same thing.
And I over the box, not realizing she can psychically hear it, I say, she doesn't understand that I have multiple brains.
There'll be nothing left of you. And she storms out of the bridge to go recover.
Man,
She can hear my multiple brains?
she's freaking
I think you
awesome.
said that out loud. She is pretty great. Yeah.
Damn. Navigators
I mean,
are awesome.
she looked very cool in like her whole black outfit and her black veil. I think she's still mourning Hardin, even though again, he's not actually dead. But it's whatever.
He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. But we did it. We did it. And I look around the room like, come on. A lot of you thought this wasn't gonna work, but here we are. Am I right?
There's like a sort of ragged cheer goes up. Yay.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. Now's not the time to celebrate. Because, I'm just a little, something just gnawing at me. Rudderman, is there any debris left from that ship? Do you know what that was? Was that one of the rogue trader vessels following us?
No, there doesn't appear to be any. Well, if there is any rubble, it's still in the warp storm. I can't figure out what that is. When I looked at it real quick, it looked like an extremely ancient ship. I don't.
Oh no, that's what was bothering me, because, those other rogue traders didn't look like they were making the same gambit we were, so whatever was in the storm might be, locals.
Worse. Yeah.
Well, again, doesn't matter anymore. Because it doesn't exist anymore.
True, we've got only two scenarios. There was only one of them, and they're now dead, or there's more of them, and we killed some of their friends, so, haha.
Jay, I only have one thing to say.
Hmm?
I know what I want for Yuletide.
What do you want for Yuletide?
More of those?
Yeah, I was
of those giant cannons?
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that. We'll have to figure that out. Right now, though. Wait a second. Daniel, what are we looking at here?
I'm sorry, I've been kind of ignoring you guys because I'm just looking at it. And everyone at the crew is sort of, as they're recovering from the trauma of the storm, is looking out the window at a planet that's sort of floating in the middle of the eye of this warp storm. It's a planet of pure beauty. It looks like a paradise. There's forests, there's oceans. It seems like it's a bunch of islands in an ocean covered by forests. Seems there's like no pollution, it's a paradise. It looks like nothing I've ever seen in the Imperium. It looks perfect.
Wow.
Huh.
I hope we can make
So,
some money off of it.
Not planet-sized pearl. We check that box.
Yeah, it's just a planet. Maybe the pearl's on the planet, or the planet is the pearl? It was like a metaphor? For like
Maybe it's a planet named Pearl.
I didn't even think about that. The pearl. Just the planet's called the Pearl. I guess. It's going to be hard to market this place as a great vacation stop, because it's hard to get to. Clearly we've got...
hot take. Maybe that thing I obliterated into next week was controlling the warp storms. Wishful thinking?
Maybe? Now, when you say controlling the warp storms, do you mean they'll go away, or do you think they'll collapse in on the planet?
Go away. I'm gonna go like full positive here. They'll just disappear, and we'll be in the best spot.
Man, our options on both ends of these are bad. Or
Should
good.
I set a course for the planet, sir?
Yeah. No, yeah. Let's go. Let's go to the paradise perfect world.
Before we go any further, I want you guys to make difficulty 4 scholar checks.
Okay. Well, my scholar is exactly a 4. So, well, seems easy peasy. I got this.
You guys
I
are
have a scholar of
extremely.
6.
Yeah.
I read book once. Damn, that would have been so cool. Now I failed. But
Okay.
Daniel, I got a 6 on my wrath die.
I don't even know what the hell that means.
Okay.
Get a
hold
glory?
on to that. Andrew, how did you do?
I got a 5. I thought I also rolled a 6 on my wrath die for a second there, but it was a normal 6.
Okay. Andrew, you are sort of looking at this planet and you're already sort of looking at some of the sensors and stuff, and like all of the readings on this planet make it seem like perfect. Like the oxygen level is perfect, like the everything is very good. But looking at it a little bit, you're realizing what this probably is. It's an Aeldari Maiden world. Now, those were planets made a jillion years ago, before the Aeldari sort of empire fell, that were the planets that the Aeldari lived on. And they were designed to be like perfect planets for everyone to live on, where they just had Aeldari wealth all over the place. Everything was perfect. People lived forever. And they were sort of, part of that was Aeldari technology and like magic, but also like the planets were terraformed to be perfect planets. Everything could grow there perfectly. Even just living on one of those planets theoretically could make you live for an extremely long time.
Wow.
I don't know what this planet is, but I rolled a 6 on my wrath die. And I don't know that it's a maiden world.
Yeah.
But I'm Aeldari.
Yes.
And this body has a reaction to seeing this place. What would my reaction be, Daniel, with a 6?
There is a deep longing and also sort of a despair deep in your heart as you look at it and truly understand that this was something lost so long ago and something meant to be perfect. But at the same time, there is a hope in your heart as well, because it's finally been found. I think the biggest thing I'll give you out of the 6 is sort of you're reaching out with your Aeldari mind, even if you don't realize it. And you're sort of reaching out on the planet to see if you could feel other Aeldari there.
Yes.
And you do not.
Oh.
But you do feel that there are humans there. A lot of humans.
Oh. Okay.
What's going on with you, Jay?
And like you look at me and I have like a tear like rolling down one of my eyes. Like uncontrollably I notice it. I went, oh, that's it's so strange. It's I don't know what it is. It's like my body or part of me knows this place. It's like, it's great. It's also a little depressing. I don't know why. I feel connected to it somehow.
That's interesting, because the readings are showing that not only is, I mean, it's in a state of perfection. This is mathematically impossible. I mean, everything is perfect. But apparently this was an Aeldari Maiden world. Like one of their perfect worlds that they constructed eons ago.
Wow. Wait a second.
But
Aeldari? An Aeldari world?
Yeah, it's an Aeldari world. But
that doesn't make sense. I can't explain it. I like reached out. There are people down there, but like humans. Like regular humans. I don't sense any Aeldari.
Yeah, I was gonna say the scans are showing that there are no Aeldari life signs. How are there this many people here? There's so many people.
I don't know. Yeah, here we are. Just a world that has to do with Aeldari. A paradise with humans on it. Surrounded by chaos. You know, we've never been in a situation like this before. You can see, Andrew, like, my hand is, like, twitching a little bit. Like, I'm starting to remember, you know, that one time where we were all in that one place with Aeldari and warp shit.
You know, I would say that right as you were about to say what you just said, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up, but I no longer have hairs on the back of my neck, so that's an odd feeling. I already said that this was mathematically impossible, which puts me on edge. But
Yeah,
humans? We're saying that they're probably not humans, right?
I don't know. All I know is I'm a little less gung-ho about this. But I mean, we're here. And there's gonna be rogue traders, and there's gonna be, hopefully, not more of whatever else was out in that warp storm. I guess we've only got one option.
All right, Faye will put us in low orbit, but continue to scan the surface. I guess we're gonna prep a craft to go down.
Yeah, let's do that. I just need like a minute. Daniel, do you mind if I'm just gonna shut you down here for a minute, buddy. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Thanks for listening to this grimdark tale. It looks like the final race for the Pearl has begun. But what of this warp storm? And what secrets reside upon this maiden world? Tune in next time to... Wait a second. You can listen to our next episode right now? On Patreon? Why, yes. You see, on Patreon, our backers are always one entire episode into the future. There you can also enjoy bonus episodes and get access to our Discord, where you can chat with the boys along with tons of other wonderful listeners every day. Definitely check it out. Special thanks to Daniel Fernandez for inserting his soul into a servo skull and helping these two as Game Master. If you enjoyed this episode, why not leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast app? We'd really appreciate it. Also, our theme song was composed by Kyle Fryer. You can check out his music on SoundCloud. And until next time, goodbye.